Okay, so good evening, everyone. How are you all? Evening, how are you? Okay, so today we are going to discuss about data types in Python. Okay, do you have any idea about data type, guys? Data types in Python. Okay, like we used data types in other programming languages like C, C++, Java. In every programming language, there is a data type. Okay, so data type means data tells the nature of its value. Okay, for example, if I'm writing here 100, so what type of value it is? If I'm writing here a, so what type of value it is? And if I'm writing here 10 comma 20 comma 30, so what type of value it is? Okay, okay, so if I'm writing 10 comma 20 comma 30, so what type of values are they? Okay, suppose sometime I'm writing like 10 comma 20 comma 30. So what is the type of these type of values? These kind of values. Suppose sometime I'm writing 10.5. So what is this value? Sometime I'm writing here true. So what is this? Okay, so these are the data. These all are data. Let me just clean it. True. Okay. Okay, so these values, when we create the programs, so these values we cannot write directly. So whenever we create the program, so why we create the program? First question is why we create the program. Okay, in any language, in general I'm asking. So we, whenever we create the program, so we take input, right now, and after that we process that input. Okay, means input is coming and we are processing that input, and based on the result we are providing what output. So this is the journal flow of what, of a program. Okay, so this is the flow of program actually. Whenever you create the program, so your program will consist of three things. First is what, your input. Second is your process. Third one is output. Okay, let's suppose you have to add, input means let's suppose you have to add two values like 10 and 30. 10 and 30, two values you have to add. So when you will write here addition 10 plus 30, so what we call it, this is nothing but process. Okay, and after this process result will come, yes or no? So what will be the result? 40. So what is this 40? This is what out. But do you know guys, in programming language, whenever we talk about computer, so if you want to store even a small value, if you want to write comma, so it will also take memory in the computer. If you will write a, so it will also take the memory in computer. Okay, means we cannot give the values, we store the values inside the memory. For example, you are writing 10 and 30, so 10 and 30 you are writing, but actually we are storing it somewhere. We are storing this 10 and 20 in a container. Okay, here also when we are processing this, after processing it is producing some result. So that result also we are storing inside a container. Are you guys understanding this? Please say yes or no. Any confusion till now? Am I audible, guys? Yes or no? You can write in chat or give some emojis. Okay, good. All right. So usually we don't write like this 10 and 30 and 10 plus 30. We use containers. What we use? Containers. Okay. So what we use? We use what? Container. Okay. So container are nothing but you can say some box which is containing some data or some item. Okay, but these containers are different types. For example, if you want to contain salt, if you want to store salt in a container, so you will take a container for storing the salt. Now for example, if you want to store the chili powder, so you will take another container. Okay, means in one container you will not keep all the ingredients. Okay, you need different types of container. Same here in programming language. First, you can consider like we have int container. Okay, so what is the name of the container? Suppose int. Okay, so this container name is suppose int, right? So it will store all the integer types of values. And what are the integer types of values? Like 10, 20, 30. These are the integer value. But if you will write here 30.5, so this is not an integer value. Okay, this type of values it cannot store. Suppose if this container is for storing salt, so it will only store salt, it will not store chili powder. Okay, same here, if you are storing some data inside the container, so you should know what type of container it is and that type of data you will give. Okay, suppose if we have another container float. Okay, so it will store the float type of values like 10.5. Okay, 6.5, like this. Okay, and after that we have one more container we have, which is suppose str. Okay, so it will store what? String type of data which is inside a single code. Okay, okay. Okay, is it visible, guys? Not visible. Let me okay, is it coming now? Okay, so what I'm saying, if you want to store any data. Okay, if you want to store any data, so what you need to do, you need to create the container. Okay, container is nothing but these are what? Variable. Okay, and variable store what? Data. Okay, what I'm trying to say here, see here, for example, we have container. This container is nothing but, we can say this is a variable. Okay, and variable is store data. Okay, and what is the data? Data is like, data is nothing but, for example, if you are writing your name, So your name is data. For example, like you are creating one variable name. Name is equals to, for example, I am writing here Nobita. Okay. So this is what, this is nothing but variable. What we call it? Variable. Okay. And what is this? This is data. But what is the type of this data? What type of data it is? So we will say this is what is string type of data. String data. Right? Because whenever you will see any value within the double quotes or single quotes, that is known as string data. Okay. And if you want to check the type of any data, so we have one method called type. So here, if you will write any variable name, it will tell the type of the data. For example, I am creating here one variable for age, and inside this I am writing 20. Okay, but I don't know what is the type of this variable. What is the variable? Age. This is nothing but variable. Okay, and this part is known as data. Okay, and sometimes we call it value, and sometimes we call it literal. Okay, and what we call this part? This is nothing but operator. Okay, what type of operator it is? It is assignment. Okay, so suppose you don't know what is the type of this data. So what you will do? There is a method called type. If you will write variable name here in this type, so it will tell the type of the data. So this 20 is nothing but this is which type? This is int type. Okay. So in programming language, in Python programming language, we have different types of data. Means different types of data we have, like integer data. Okay, we have float data. Okay, we have complex data. Okay, we can store the complex type of data. Okay, one, two, three, and after that we have string type of data. I will tell you practically also like how this data store in a program. I mean in a variable, how do we store it actually? Okay. And next data type we have, which is boolean. Okay, so boolean is a data type. Boolean means either 0 or 1, or we can say either true or false. Okay, so these are nothing but boolean. Suppose if you are writing here 2 is equals to 2, so what will be the result of it? The result will be true. So the true is coming now. This true is nothing but this is the boolean value. Okay, for example, if you are writing here 2 not is equals to 3, 2 not is equals to 3. So is it true or false? This is true. So this is also boolean data. If you are saying here like 2 is equals to 3, so this is what? This is the false statement. So this is what? False. So these expression evaluate in which form? Boolean form. Okay. So the result of this type of operators will be either true or false. Next data type we have. Next data type we can say sequence data type, and in sequence data type we have like list. Okay, I'll tell you in detail like what is the sequence data type, and we have tuple. Okay, we can store the data in the form of list. List is nothing if we are creating more than one values. We are having inside this square bracket. So this is nothing but list data. And if you have at the same time, if you have this parenthesis and here you are writing 1, 2, 3. So this is what tuple data. Okay, and at the same time, if you are writing like 1 comma 2 comma 3, so this is also a tuple data. Although you are not mentioning Although you are not mentioning here parenthesis, but still it is known as tuple data. Or if you are writing something like this, so this is also tuple data. Okay, and after that we have one method. I mean one more data type, which is range data. and this is one of the useful data type. Okay, it generates the values. Suppose you are saying I want values from 0 to 10, so it will generate all the values from 0 to 10. How it will generate, we will see. Okay, next we have another data type which is known as set data type. Okay, set basically, if you are having in set data type, suppose if you are having, this is the syntax. This is the syntax. How you write the set data? You write set data inside the curly braces. Okay. So for example, you are writing 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So what it will do? It will remove all the duplicates. Okay. Set keeps always all the unique values. So what it will do? It will discard the duplicates values. Okay. So it contains what unique values. Okay, guys, getting or not? Tell me. Okay, so another data type. Yes, okay. Another data type we have, suppose we have data type. This is nothing but dictionary data type. What we call it, dictionary. So when we create the dictionary, it is nothing but key value here. Okay, we create dictionary with this curly braces, and here we write the key. Suppose key is nothing but name. Name is the key, and what's the value? Value is like for example, the one. Okay, so this is nothing but value. So here what we call, when we store dictionary type of data, so this is known as key. Okay, and this is the value of that key. Okay. How we can check these data types in programming? So let's try to understand each data type one by one. Okay, so I'm opening here ideally. Okay, so I'm using this mode. What we call it, this mode? Do you know, guys, what we call this mode? This is known as, do you know what? Anyone knows what we call this mode of IDE? Ideally, and what we call this? Am I audible? So do you have any idea like what we call this? So this is nothing but Python shell. Okay. So on Python shell, I mean when you download the Python software, it provides two things. Okay, two things. One is programming mode. Okay, one is programming. Okay, programming mode, and the second one it provides, which is shell. Okay, or we can say command mode, or we can simply say shell. Okay, or this programming mode also known as scripting mode. Okay, what we call it, scripting mode. So what we do here, basically, here we write, if you have to write program of hundreds lines of code, 100,000 lines of code you have to write. So which tool you will use? You will use programming mode or scripting mode. But if you have to test some commands, like if you have to test the data types of a variable, or if you have learned something, like if you have to write one line of code or maybe two line of code, so that time you will use this cell. So we don't have to write long code. We have to write a small code. So that is why we will use this. What mode it is? Shell mode. Okay. And if I ask you what is ideally, so this is nothing but integrated development learning environment. Okay. So when you download the Python software, IDLE comes, and with IDLE, programming mode comes and shell mode. Right? Okay. So for example, how to create a variable in Python. So whenever you are creating a variable in Python, you can give any name. Okay, like ABC. Okay, or you can give ABC capital. Okay, and you can give ABC 123, or you can give ABC underscore. I mean underscore 123, or even you can give underscore. So this is also variable name. For example, I am storing here 1000. Okay, so if you will print underscore, it will display the value. Okay, suppose if you are writing here, in order to print anything in Python, we use print statement. If you will write here underscore, it will print the value of underscore. So value of underscore is 1000. We can use underscore as a variable. Okay, but you cannot start a variable with number. Okay, for example, ABC is equals to 1000 you are storing. What it is saying? It is saying syntax error. Okay, whenever you are creating a variable, it should not start with number. Okay, it always start with character. Okay, for example, I am starting a number with symbols. So what will happen? Will it is accept? So again, it will not accept. Okay, your variable name should not start with special symbol. Your variable name should not start with number. But this is underscore is also special symbol. But this underscore is allowed. Okay, for example, I am writing my name. Okay, so how you will print the data? You will write print underscore. So it is printing my name. Are you understanding this much? Okay. So next, let's talk about what is the correct way to write the variable name. Okay, variable name. How we can write the variable name, correct variable name. So for example, if you are combining two names. Okay, like for example, student name. So if you are writing student name and you are writing student name is suppose Mohit, so that is not allowed. Okay, that is not allowed. In this way, you cannot write. Why? Because space is not allowed. When you will write the variable name, so you cannot give the space. Okay. Second thing is, can you write like this? Student name. Okay. You can write like this, but it is not much readable. Okay, you can write like this, but it is not much readable. So if you want to write the variable name, so you will follow this particular syntax like student underscore name. Okay, and here you can give name. So this is a professional way to create the variable name. Okay, and this is known as writing in this way. It is known as snake case. Okay, snake case, right? So variable name we write using snake case, right? Okay. So for example, I am writing here age is equals to 20. How we will check the type of this data? Okay, what type of data it is? Although we know this is the integer data, but programmatically how we can check? So we will use here type. Okay, inside the type we will write this variable name. Okay, age. So what it will do? It will tell the type. Type is what? Integer, right? Okay. So let's try to test it now. So okay. So I'm writing here. Suppose age equals to 20. Age is equals to 20, and I'm writing here type. Type is what? Like which variable type you want to see. I want to see the type of this age variable. So you will write here type method, and here it will tell you the type. So what is the type? It is integer type. Okay. For example, if I'm writing here type, not type, but I'm writing here variable like marks. Okay, so marks is like 88.9. Okay, so what type of data it is? Suppose if you are not sure what type of data it is, what you will write here type, and inside the type you will write the variable name which is marks. Okay, so what is the type of this variable? It is float type. Okay, let's suppose you have uh, I mean let's suppose you have a to-do list. Okay, let's suppose you have to-do to-do list. Okay, so in to-do list, what you are writing? You are writing in to-do list like what you have to do. So suppose you have to learn Python language, okay, and you have to learn Java language, okay, and you have to learn Frontend, okay, and you have to eat, okay, and you have to take 100 rupees from your father, okay, and suppose you have to send 5,000 rupees to a particular person. So this is what you are creating your to do. Okay. So this type of data type which you are starting with square bracket. So this is known as list data type. So if I will write here type function or method, and here I will write to do this list. Okay. So can you see here, guys? This to do list is nothing but it is a variable. What is it? Variable. Okay, and this entire thing is the value, or we can say data, or we can say value, or we can call it literal. Okay, and this is variable. Also, we can call it sometime containers. Okay, container, right? And yes, yes, please tell me. Yes, yes, please tell me. Yes, am I audible, guys? Hello. Yes, tell me. Tell me. I think there is a network issue. That's why you are not able to hear. Yes, Sobi, please tell me. Yes, yes. Okay, I think there is an internet issue. Yes, yes, you can write. You can write in OK editor, but make sure you have downloaded like Python system. If you have Python in your system, you can write it even in Notepad as well. Okay. So okay, so what is the data type of this particular variable? So this is a list type. Okay. For example, I am creating nothing list. So what is my variable name? Nothing list. Okay, and inside the nothing list I am writing this what we call it, square bracket. So if I check the type of this nothing list, so what type of data it is? It is again list type. Okay, so this is what type of data? List type of data. Okay, and there is one more variable called, for example, no data. I'm writing no data and here I'm writing none. No data means none. So if I check the type of this no data, so what it is? It is none type. Okay, there is one more variable in the Python which is known as none type. Okay, so if you are not sure about the data, so you can type none. Okay, right. And we have another type of data, like for example, if you are writing name, so you will use single quote. Okay, and here you are writing like name is what, Raju, let's suppose. Okay, so if you will check the type of name, so it will be Raju. I mean not Raju, but it will be string type. Okay, for example, I'm writing name is equals to what, double quotes Raju. Okay, if you will write name with double quote, so that is also what type, the string type. Okay, and if you are writing like name, okay, suppose if you are writing name in triple quote, okay, if you are writing name in triple quote like hello Raju, okay, how are, how are you doing? Okay. So this is another way to write the string. This is triple quote string. So this is also, it will check the type of this. So this will be also a string. Okay, so this is also a string type of data, right? And for example, if you are writing here, okay, type, okay, not type, you are writing here is pass. Okay, means is a student pass or not? So I am writing here true. Yes, he is pass. So if I will check the type of this variable is pass. So what's the type of this variable? The type is boolean. Okay, so we are printing the type. We are not printing the value. As of now, we are not printing value anywhere. What is the value? Value is this hello Raju, how are you? Okay, but we are printing what type of this variable. So what is the type? Type is str. Here type is what? This. For example, I'm writing here check. I'm creating a variable name check. And here I'm writing 2 is equals to 2. Okay. So if I check the type of this check, what type of data it is, can anyone tell me? Can you please tell me what will be the type of this data? So it will be Boolean, because whenever you write the expression, it evaluates in Boolean. Okay. It evaluates in Boolean. Either it could be true or it could be false. Okay, and if you will write check again, check, okay, and here you are writing 3 is equals to 2. So if you will check the type, so this is what, this is also what type, boolean type. But if you will print this check, if you want to print the value, so you will use print function. So what it is printing? False. Okay, false means boolean type of data. Okay, you might be confusing here like what is this thing. So let me tell you. Like for example, if you are seeing here this, so this is nothing but assignment operator. Assignment, okay, assignment operator. Okay, and if you are talking about this double equals to, this is what, comparison operator. Okay, for example, from, okay, this Raju is nothing but name. Okay, suppose this Raju name you have to move here to here, means from here to this container. This container name is name. Okay, so what you will write? You will write name is equals to Raju. Okay, so this is what you are assigning. What you are doing, you are assigning. Okay, let's suppose you want to compare two things like Raju. Okay, Raju is equals to let's suppose Kaju. Okay, so is it true? Is it true? We are what we are doing. We are comparing. So here this is what comparison. Okay, and this comparison evaluate in Boolean. Yes, tell me, sorry. Okay, so my video, I mean, my screen is not visible. Okay, no issue, Sobit. Let me just share the screen one more time. Due to internet issue, it's lagging sometime. Let's see what I am telling you here. Okay, okay, so I'm ending the meeting here. I'll upload the recording. You just access the recording. I have told you here one concept that you can access through the recording. Okay, so I'm ending the meeting here. In the next class, we will discuss in more. Yes, 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 tell me. Yes, yes. किसी में भी हो जाएगा कुछ भी एडिटर यूज कर सकते हो लाइक VS कोड में भी हो जाएगा ओके वो VS कोड में भी तुम पाइथन का कोड लिख सकते हो देखो मैं बताता हूँ फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम सर्चिंग हियर VS कोड ओके so here is my VS code is opening okay let's suppose I have to write Python code here okay so what I will do I'll just create here one file and file name will be like one and .py is necessary to write it must be ending with .py okay and here I am writing name like hello world so this is I want to print so how you will execute it you just open this terminal okay or you can go to this three dots and you can get the new terminal okay and how you will execute this file one.py file you will write here py1.py this py command you have to write and one.py so what will happen it will print out otherwise you can write here python one.py so still it will print the file I mean output okay you can use python or py and then your file name complete file okay this is how it will okay Sobit okay हाँ होगा okay yes yes there is a class okay bye then yes 9 o'clock it will be at 9 o'clock